Italy for our team was very productive. We have some new faces on our team. We had the ability to practice 10 times before we went, and I thought those 10 practices leading up to the trip were as probably as productive as we could have made them. The trip was, I thought, also very good for our team. Except for the tragedy right after we landed in the loss of Pat Davison. I thought that we played pretty true to the things that we wanted to try and accomplish, and we did a lot of sightseeing while we were there, and I thought got a lot of things accomplished that we wanted to accomplish. So looking back on it, I thought educationally it was very good. I thought basketball-wise it was very good. And certainly gave us a chance to develop some stronger team chemistry, so I was really pleased.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Is there anybody that stood out, player-wise in the 3 games?
We started every player started a game. We played everybody a healthy chunk of minutes, which to Contavious and Nemi and Dante probably didn't feel like a healthy chunk because they played less minutes than they usually play. Marcus Thornton obviously did not play. So of the guys that started and played major minutes for us last year, most of them were reduced to the smaller roles. So statistically, it's kind of hard to gauge because we weren't able to keep track of how many minutes guys played. But I do think that Tim Dixon was very productive for us. I think that Charles Mann had a very good trip. Kenny Gaines and Brandon Morris. All 3 of those perimeter guys, those new perimeter guys, learned some valuable lessons. They learned some lessons that they won't have to learn again in November if they're smart kids, which they are. But I think it was a situation where Tim probably stood out to most of the guys who hadn't played significant minutes. But I was pleased with those 3 freshman perimeter players. They all had some very good plays. Obviously had some plays that they can learn from, but Tim took a big step forward.
What specifically did your perimeter players learn? What you're talking about right there?
Well, the speed of the game is so much different at this level than in high school. And when you're playing with a 24-second shot clock, most of these guys had never played with a shot clock, period. Mm-hmm. So you go from having no shot clock to 24 seconds, which probably had them a little bit, sped up, across the board. But for our freshmen, I think they realized just how hard and how fast you have to play, and how with such quick possessions that when you take just a couple seconds break, that there's gonna be a costly consequence for that. So I think they were able to see some of those things, and certainly just get game experience, which is so valuable.
Coach, you guys were solid on defense last year. How did the new guys fit in playing Georgia defense?
Our defense was awful. We'll give up 94 points one game. And I'll be honest with you, you just in 10 practices, you just don't have enough time to implement all the things that you want to. And so we tried to give a basic shell of our offensive foundation and a basic shell of our defensive foundation. It was, I'll tell you, the returning guys were really pretty good. The new guys in their defense haven't had a chance to be drilled on everything, so their defense wasn't nearly very, as good as we want it to be, or that it will be. But in a situation with 10 practices as broken up as ours were, it was probably impossible to address it like we would in a regular season. But defensively, we got a ways to go.
You mentioned Marcus Thornton. Kind of where is he with his recovery and everything, rehab?
Marcus was able to practice in certain situations where there was no contact, mm-hmm. and he did quite a bit of things in preparation for the trip. He has not been cleared for contact, but he's moving very well in his rehab. We're not back working out yet, so I think we'll get another evaluation from our trainers as to his status here in another week or 10 days. Mm-hmm. But I think that to this point we've been very pleased. I think he feels very good about it, and but it's something we're going to take our time with, mm-hmm. because we got to make sure he's healthy for November.
How much would a 10 days you receive enable you to maybe speed up your practice? Once you start the your preseason drills.
I would think that it should allow us to proceed a lot quicker. I think that just implementing most of the things that we did this summer and not having to reteach those all over again will make us, will give us the ability to maybe put some more things in before our first game that maybe we normally wouldn't. It'll allow us more time to drill on certain things and polish certain things up. So I think it should allow us to go into the fall with certainly a good head start. But like with anything, there'll be some slippage. They'll forget some things they probably already have. But that's to be expected too.
You have some depth at certain spots. Do you feel like Kessler is probably the only guy that you're looking at probably redshirting, or?
Well, Houston, who had some bright moments too on the trip. I think we would like to redshirt Houston. He knows that. You guys know that. And I look at our team. We've got really good competition across the board now. I think the battle at the point will be, will be fun to watch. I think that. Kenny Gaines has come in at the 2 spot with some playmaking ability, which makes that spot, real fun to watch every day. Obviously at the 3, Marcus, when he gets healthy with Brandon Morris, and we can play Contagious there, we can play Sherrod Brantley there, or play Sherrod at 2. I think we've got some real depth that we haven't had before. And then up front, with everybody returning up front, I think we have some real depth. So will I redshirt anybody besides Houston? I'm tempted. Long term, I'm tempted, but we won't have to make that decision until the 1st of November. But I would be less than honest if I didn't tell you it crossed my mind, because I think we have a deeper team.